Let's get back to what's going on here in the United States. Elizabeth Warren is indeed surging in the polls. She's overtaken Joe Biden in some key states. That has Wall Street worried. David Nicholas is with us, president of Nicholas Wealth Management. David, I just want to suggest, let's suppose that Elizabeth Warren just gets the nomination. Not whether she wins the presidency or not, but she gets the Democrat nomination. Do you think our money would be affected? Would Wall Street sell off?
Well, Stuart, it's a very real threat. And maybe I'll give you some real life that I see day to day. So we advise clients daily, and I have clients today with one of the best economies in the world ready to pull their money from the markets. And I have to reassure our clients, look, the economy is well, earnings are great. I can't imagine if we have a nominee like Elizabeth Warren or another pro-socialist nominee, the fear that will be inflicted just on regular, everyday investors. Because we think that it's the big institutions that move markets, but really, it's the vast majority of retirees and retirement accounts. It doesn't take much for those type of investors to get fearful. So even, Stuart, if we have a nominee like Elizabeth Warren, I think you'll see market sell-off. I did a calculation. In the first year, if we do have a socialist-type candidate like Elizabeth Warren, if we sunset the tax laws and the regulatory changes to Fortune 500 companies, I think we'd see a sell-off of 30% first 12 months with that type of candidate.
30%. And now that is because that would take us all the way back to about 18,000 on the Dow, which is where we were when President Trump was elected. You know, I don't want to do a Paul Krugman. If you remember, Paul Krugman on the evening of the election of Donald Trump said the market's going to crash and may never recover. I don't want to do the same thing if Elizabeth Warren is the president or is nominated, the market's going to crash. I don't want to do that. But I think it's worthwhile pointing out the real concerns among investors about a socialist nominee for the Democrat Party. And that's what you're doing.
Absolutely. And if you just look at some of her proposals, like her economic patriotism proposal, it would essentially attempt to crash the U.S. dollar, which is, in her words, to make our exports more attractive. If you look at her Accountable Capitalism Act, which really should be the Destroy Capitalism Act, it would require the largest U.S. companies to apply for a federal charter just to operate. So we essentially have to ask Queen Elizabeth, if it pleases the crown, may we operate our business? And if she obliges, we just have to guarantee that we will pursue economic and social justice over profit to shareholders and creating good products. So there's no economic risk for the markets right now, Stuart. The risk right now for the markets is the elections of 2020 and who the candidate will be going into next year.
Got it. All right. Thanks so much for joining us as usual. We'll see you again real soon.